bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information. All intellectual property rights related to this program, including but not limited to copyrights, trademarks, and other proprietary rights, are the property of Lawin Media Network or their respective owners. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or use of any content from this program is prohibited.
Dr. Rich?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our show today entitled Beyond Health and Wellness, Empowering Conversations with Dr. Rich and Nurse MJ. I'm your host, Dr. Rich, a nurse leader with a passion for blending holistic health with leadership and personal development.
And I'm Nurse MJ, an advanced practice nurse with a focus on mental health and wellness. We are so excited to have you here today as we launch this journey into conversations that go beyond traditional healthcare and touch on all aspects of wellness, leadership, and personal growth. And you are watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and stream.lawin.live. And of course, if you missed our live show, don't worry, because you can listen to our podcasts like Spotify,
Exactly.
Amazon
All right.
Podcast.
So today we're going to set the stage for what you can expect in the upcoming episodes that we have. We have 13 prepared for you. They are deep conversations on how to elevate your health, lead others by example, and live your best life. But first, let's share a bit about ourselves and what drives us to explore these topics. There are things that we can relate to and that actually happen to us. They are our personal experiences, and we want to share them to you. First of all, let's have MJ. MJ, share your experiences in healthcare, wellness, and leadership. Who is MJ?
Who is MJ? Okay. Well, I think if some of you have already watched my other show or are watching or following my other show, I'm known more in the community as MJ, which is short for Mary Jane. But I am a nurse. I have been a nurse for, I would say, about more than 30 years because I graduated 1993. Yeah, so that's like 7 plus. Yeah, about right. It's about right. 31 years. 31 years that I've been a nurse. And currently, I am a nurse practitioner at MD Anderson Cancer Center. But I have been a nurse practitioner for over, I graduated 2009. So that's like, or 2011. So I have been a nurse practitioner for about 13 years. And my passion, other than caring for patients, was, it takes a lot of passion too, right, Dr. Rich, to
Yes.
take care of patients, because it's not easy, to take care of other people. But other than that, other than being a nurse, I really love empowering other people through my story. I love speaking. I've been speaking all my life, and I'm just so grateful that I have been given this opportunity to be of service to our viewers and to the community in a different capacity. Because being a nurse is also, it's a service driven profession, because if you don't have the heart to do it, it's not easy to be a nurse. But other than nursing, I really love empowering, motivating, speaking, and just having a good relationship with other people. I love personal growth and development, because I believe that through personal growth and development, that's how we become better. Because in this life, we are born to do something greater, right, Dr. Rich? Do you agree with that?
Correct.
So,
Correct.
in short, I am a nurse, I am a speaker, I'm a motivator, I am a mom. I have three wonderful children who are already like two of them are adults, and I have two boys and a girl. So, I have three wonderful kids. Of course, I'm married. Been married for 27 years.
Yeah.
Yes, my husband is a systems analyst and he works at MD Anderson as well. And at the same time, I am a speaker, like a certified speaker with John Maxwell. I'm a certified speaker with Les Brown. I I am part of a lot of community organizations too, two of which are Philippine Nurses Association, Metro Houston, and the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Houston region, and of course, Lawin Media Network. So, other than being a nurse, I'm just glad to be here, to be of service to all of you. And I'm so excited to have Dr. Rich collaborate with me in this show, because we really want to reach to everybody. We want to take care of you in all aspects of your life. I know with my other show, Beyond, I'm copying our show now, Be Bold. It's the same thing, empowerment and through stories, but this Beyond Health and Wellness is something that we know will be very useful to our community and to all our viewers. So I'm just glad to be here. And Dr. Rich, what about you? Let our viewers, I know you were my guest last week, so they got to know
Yes.
a bit about you, but we want to know more.
Yes. So they probably already know me, but yes,
Mhm,
my background is a little varied. I would say I was in the technical field for quite a long time. I was doing very well as a chemical engineer, working in seven countries in the Middle East and two in Europe. And then I transferred in the US to continue with my engineering work down here at Houston's National Association for Corrosion Engineers. I teach metallurgy and welding inspection. But at some point, my dad had cancer, and he had multiple surgeries. And in one of those surgeries, a surgical sponge was left on his abdomen. And that entire ordeal of taking it out and going back with my dad's condition deteriorating, that really had me brought me into a reflective mood to think about going to nursing school at that age. And I'm already adult at that age, and I still think like maybe I should go to school. And I went to school to finish nursing, and after nursing school I went straight to the operating room to work as a nurse in the operating room. And then from there on, things just happened from right from that moment. And until now, I'm still in the business of healthcare. I'm still in this industry.
mhm,
I am grateful for the opportunity to affect and impact people about how they can look and see beyond what they are experiencing in their present condition, such as what health conditions they have that brought them to the hospital, and what's going to happen beyond that. And in fact, that inspires me to join this particular program, because we're talking about beyond health and wellness. After
mhm.
that, beyond that door, what are you going to do, and what is life look like to you?
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's
Yeah,
exactly what this show is all
is that
about.
good?
Yeah, yeah. No, but you know what?
Right.
You
Okay,
also
so
need to mention that other than, I mean, because you're a nurse leader. So I know you've been a nurse for a long time too. How long have you been a nurse, Dr. Rich?
long enough to be in this position, probably about 24 years.
Okay. Okay. So you
So
are
so long enough, long enough.
yes, yes. So that's what you're expecting from us. We have here a nurse leader expert, right? Actually, Dr. Rich has a lot of accolades. It's like if if you put all his titles in his name, it's not gonna be enough. Like the whole like across page is not gonna be enough. But yeah, we are here and we're blessed to have this show for all of you. And we can say that I think we are qualified enough to be in this position, right, Dr. Rich? We're going to share our not just our expertise in the health.
Yes, yes. We're qualified enough.
Yeah.
Cor- Correct. So yes, we're qualified enough to talk about what does holistic health and wellness mean to us and to the people that we share these insights with. What does it mean to us? So let's talk about holistic health. And when we say holistic health, what does it really? What are your thoughts about this, MJ?
Well, as the word holistic implies, you take care of the whole body. I mean, the whole person, like mind, body, spirit, and even our relationships with other people, right? It's about creating that balance in every aspect of
The
our
whole
life.
person. Yes,
Yes, not
yes,
just,
yes. It is.
that's right. Yeah, not just our physical well-being, but also our mental, emotional,
Right.
spiritual, intellectual. It's all aspects. Yep.
All of that aspect, because that affects the condition of the human being. And so that is true. And what's interesting is that how this concept fits into or ties up into philosophies of leadership. How can we lead? Because you really need to lead. All of us are leaders, not just one person, but all of us. If you are alive today, you are a leader. And when I say that, I mean that you will lead the direction of your life to where you want to go, including your health, including the condition of your body. So we want to tie uh, uh, that one there. So because it's holistic, it's like your, what do you call this? Your oxygen mask principle.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right? When you have that,
Yes.
and they announce that in the plane, when the oxygen mask fall down from the ceiling, you want to grab and put one on yourself until you can breathe normally, and then you can put someone who needs help. So
Mm-hmm.
yours first. And I realized one of my mentor have told me this a while back, saying that we if you want to help somebody, get rich. You don't want to be the beggar trying to help somebody and you think you did a good job, and that's not necessarily bad, but get rich so they can help them.
Well,
And I
that's
think he has
so
the
true.
point.
Yeah, because you're
So are
able
we
to do
taking a
more.
break?
Yeah. No,
Yes.
we're still about a minute, but you're right, Dr. Rich. When it comes to taking care of ourselves
Okay.
in a holistic way, we need it because how can we serve others? How can we help? How can we lead others if we are not well enough to do it, right? So, not just well enough when it comes to, as you said, we
Yes.
have to be rich. But anyhow, yeah, you're right. We're actually at 8:15, so we should go on our first break and we will be back shortly.
Yes.
Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
There you go. We're back. And Dr. Rich, I want to piggyback on what you just said, because you mentioned about being a leader, not just,
Here we are.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Rich, you hear me? Yeah. So I
Yes,
want to piggyback on what you said about leading our lives, right? Because say, for example, me, if I'm not taking care of myself, if
I can
I
hear you.
don't have enough sleep, if I'm not healthy, it would affect my being a mom. Because for you to be a leader, it doesn't have to be like you're the vice president or you're the CEO of a company. You can be a leader of your own life. And as a mom, how could I be best in my role as a mother if I'm not well, if I'm not healthy? I wouldn't be the best wife if I don't take care of myself. I mean, if you don't take care of yourself holistically, you won't have good relationship with other people. So it's very important that we take care of ourselves in every aspect, not just mentally, physically, emotionally, is spiritually. Those are very, very important for us to have a better
Right,
life
right,
and to lead a better, lead others in a better way. And that's very important. Like, would you share an
right.
experience, Dr. Rich, when in your life where you got like you were under the weather and you feel like you did not perform well? How did that affect your day as a manager or as a leader, or now you're VP of this hospital? Yeah.
Well, interestingly, it really ties to a lot of things in life, and because you bring would say, I didn't bring my problems with me. I left them when I come to work, but it's not true. The truth is, you brought everything, all of you, into wherever you go and into whatever you do, and so the whole of that is affected if you are not in the best of health. And I remember one time I was going to work and I wasn't very healthy. I felt uh, I, I, I there's pains, especially when we talk about pain. It's really a debilitating condition, right? You can't do anything else, or you lost the interest of doing anything, and you want to just flow and drift along until that pain is gone. And it happens to me quite a quite a few times, and it makes me feel like I'm not very useful. And I think part of me is saying that no matter how good I do, it's never going to be enough, because there is always going to be something more that I can do. And it's like progress on something. And when you feel bad, if you are under the weather, it it's even more. You can even feel it more, that you can do that because there's something going on in your body, and we want to address that, especially pain, and we will talk about that in some of our sessions, especially pain.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always going to be there, and they're like part of life, and they're there. But I remember one time I was in Chicago, and I took a taxi, and I was dripping. My nose is running, and keep having a handkerchief. And this taxi driver is even more. And so I try to hold myself, like not doing it because she's sneezing and all that. So it's really the weather is, the pollens and all those kinds of things that the allergens are in the air. And and then she says, well, I know you're going to go into this particular session, and she says that um, every year I get this every year during this time. She's expecting that she will have that disease or that condition every single year, and so it happens. It happens every time,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked me, "So don't you have that?" I said, "I don't have that because I talk to viruses." And she said, "You talk to viruses?" And says, "Yes, I do. I tell them, virus, you are in my body and I recognize you, and you are not going to prosper here. You are not going to make a lot of improvements here to do your job because you're not welcome in my body. But there is a woman in Chicago." she started she started laughing. So the thing is, you entertain that, especially pain only goes away when you don't think of it anymore. But if you keep thinking of it, it stays there. And everything that we think about stays where they are. But if we don't think of them, they're not there. So
Yes. Yeah, I
isn't
think
that interesting?
whatever we feel, especially those things like negative things, negative thoughts, we can acknowledge them that they're
MJ?
there. But just so you can acknowledge them, but you can tell them that they're not gonna rule our body, that they're not gonna stay there. I also want to share when I used to work 12-hour shifts, Dr. Rich, as nurses, right? We work 12 hours, we work graveyard shifts, like from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., and it was just so hard on my body because even though you would have like few days in a row that you are off, you take a from working, still your body just that 3 days you're just recovering, and by the time you feel better, you are going back to work. So it was just a cycle of working and working, and then eventually we get burned out. And when we get burned out, we're not our best self. We cannot be, leading others the best way we can. We cannot give our best shot at our job. We cannot give our best shot in our relationships. So it's very important, really important, that we take care of our health. And as we've been talking about holistic health, it's not just our physical, but of course our mental, emotional, spiritual. So it's really important. But Dr. Rich, what are we gonna, I think we gotta apply this, right, to all our viewers so we can help them. So we should give them some practical ways on how we can help them, right? Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to really get into
Yeah.
yes, action, so we can give them some pieces of advice.
Yes. Uh-huh. Yes. We definitely can. First of all, let's start step by step. Start in small steps. You can't achieve your perfect healthy condition or the best that you are. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. So here are what do you call this? Three quick actionable items that or tips for our listeners to apply immediately. First, start with one focus area. What is it that you want to achieve a level of, or amount of health? Is that physical? Is that mental, emotional, or spiritual? Whatever it is, start from there. Start with one. Forget about the rest. Just start with that. Focus. And then set small, attainable goals for that particular focus. Let's say you want to take walks every day, 10 minutes. But you have to overcome that. You have to be successful with that. 10 minutes every day. The best the best thing to do is when you wake up, 10 minutes, it's done. So start with that. to get it out of the way. But that's it. There are so many things that you do for the day, but that particular one, you did it. And then third
Yes.
is find an
Mm-hmm. And
accountability
finally,
partner.
right?
This is very
Yes.
important to keep you on track. Is that your partner? Is that your daughter, your children, your friend? Find that one accountable partner so that they will remind you and you can remind them, and then you together finding an accountable partner is somebody that you can trust, who believes in what you're doing and helps you with it. This is very important to keep on track. Does that sound good?
Yes, I those are really great tips because again, we have when we try to give these action items is there's something that you can actually easily apply, right?
I am
So for
free.
example,
Yes.
when you get out of the day, when you get out of bed,
Yes.
set that intention. Set that
Go ahead,
intention
MJ.
to have a very positive, that you're going to have a positive day. Mindfulness, as you have
Are
said.
you there?
Yes, right? And then, of course, having an accountability partner is really going to help because somebody's going to push you. Somebody is going to keep encouraging you to keep doing what you're doing. That's why it's important. And sometimes we also need to we will need help. If at some point you feel like you need a professional help, then don't hesitate to do so. Don't be scared to ask for help because we don't want things to get worse before we realize that we actually have some problems, right? So, three things: focus on one area of your life, whichever you think is the most important, that you feel like need the most or most urgent attention. Like if your body is saying, I'm tired, I'm giving up, then take care of your physical body, right? But if you feel like it's your emotions that need the attention, then focus on your emotions. If you feel like it's your mental health and well-being, then do that. Or your spirituality, then focus on that. You don't have to do things all at the same time. Just focus on one.
And the thing about this is they are very simple, but no one does it. Only 2%.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's right. I mean, not everybody, because of this world is so chaotic, Dr. Rich. That's why people now they're just thrown all over the place. They don't know how to focus. They don't have
No
that.
question. Mhm.
That's why we're here, because we're here to guide them. This is a journey. It's not a sprint. It's a journey, right? You
Correct.
can't just change
One
overnight.
area only.
Yes. But
Yeah.
again, first and foremost, focus on one area only.
Yeah.
And then if when you improve one area of your life, actually the others follow. Right, Dr. Rich? You agree with that? And then after you focus on one area and you have some improvement, then you can just, when you determine that area of your life that you need focus on, then set attainable goals, just like what Dr. Rich had said. Attainable goals, meaning, for example, if you just tell yourself, if you're focusing on your physical health, then do 10-minute walk a day. That's not hard to do, right? And then you can even incorporate in your job.
Yes. So we
Yeah.
get that one. We say focus on one area only. Is it physical? And
Yes.
what in the physical area it's going to be? Let's say you want.
Yes, that's right. I think let's go on a break for now, Dr. Rich, before we move on. Let's go on a short break and we will be back. All right, we're back. Hi, Dr.
Yeah,
Rich.
yeah.
We're
No,
back.
it's not. But you have to focus on one, just as you said, MJ. When you focus on one, the others will also get done. So that is really the secret.
Yeah, and I want to share with them because I know you're very good at
Yes,
hormones, right? When you
yes.
exercise, yeah, when you exercise, when you
We'll
walk,
be right
whatever it
back.
is, yeah, there are good hormones that you produce, right, Dr. Rich, that will make you feel better. So it takes care of your emotional health too. Can you share those hormones that I know I remember when you were speaking at our Philippine Nurses Association? I tend to forget those hormones. Can you tell our viewers, Dr. Rich? Hi, Dr. Rich. Anyway, so we've already talked about focusing on one area of your holistic health, right? So now we moved on to achievable or attainable goals, like just walking 10 minutes a day, or if it's nutrition, then maybe cutting down on sweets. If it's your mental health, maybe trying to be mindful or doing meditation or listening to doing a gratitude journal. If it's your spirituality, just maybe listening to uplifting music that can uplift your spirit. So that is pretty realistic goal or realistic step. So, and then as Dr. Rich had said earlier, finding an accountability partner will really help, because having an
I'm
accountability
here.
partner,
I am right here.
yeah. So finding an accountability partner also would help, because it's really gonna somebody is gonna be there to walk by you, to encourage you when you're
All
down,
right.
to
So can
lift
you
you
hear
up.
me? You-
Yes.
Hormones.
Yeah. Share us those hormones, Dr. Rich.
Yeah, there are definitely there are good hormones. Yes.
Well, I think that we're
Yes, sure, sure.
uh,
I am here. Can you hear me?
yes, yes,
Can
now.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. So let's talk about those hormones so our viewers will learn something tonight. Okay, well, I'm talking about like our good hormones, good feeling. Well, let's get back to that later. Okay, so here I am. Anyway, I want to recap. So we were talking about holistic health, which covers all our mind, body, and spirit, and how important it is for us to take care of our whole being. Because if you don't feel good physically, it affects your emotions, it affects your mental health, it also affects your spirituality. So it's very important that as we grow older and as we approach or any stage of our life, even like at a young age, working in the hospital, it's so sad seeing young people who are very sick. I mean, there are people that as young as they're on their like our kids, obesity is now a problem all over the world. And obesity, it's true that there's maybe genetic or familial factors that affect obesity, but also there are lifestyle factors too. So, meaning if we know how to address those lifestyle factors that affect our health, for example, in my example is obesity, then we can prevent or we can control obesity. I believe in that because, like, as we promote prevention, wellness, and well being, we got to be mindful of what we eat. We got to be mindful of our activities. If we are like living in a very sedentary lifestyle, then it affects our whole body. It makes you feel down, it doesn't give you energy. So, lifestyle is very important. It is how we take care of our health, is taking care of us physically. And then again, as I said, if our physical well-being is not well, then it affects our emotions, because there are some hormones out there that are good or are produced, are stimulated by our body when we exercise, when we feel good. So that's what we're talking about. It helps also when our emotions are good, it helps control our blood pressure. It helps prevent, anxiety and depression, those things. There are a lot of things that can affect our mental and emotional health if we're not taking care of ourselves physically. And I know Dr. Rich already had mentioned about actionable items that we have told you. So you can focus on one, whatever it is that you think needs the most attention in your life, in all those different aspects of your well-being, then focus on that. You don't have to take care of everything all at the same time, because that's not realistic, right? Well, we have a Facebook user who said it's very true. Thank you so much. I don't know who that is, but thank you for watching. And we understand that we're having some technical difficulties, but we're here to give you this show, and we're here to help you in your journey for a better health. And that's why we're doing this for you. And Dr. Rich, you're back.
I just came back. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that sounds better. I know you've been a little bit, frozen here
S-
and there. So let's get back.
something or someone doesn't want us to talk about holistic health.
No, it's okay. You know
Are we
what?
okay now?
This
Can you
this
hear
is
me?
just, yes, this is just one of the challenges, Dr. Rich. But don't worry.
Yes.
These challenges will make our show
But that's
better.
what it is. But that's what you see the dynamics of what we're talking about. We're talking about holistic because one thing can affect another thing, and that's the same thing with the conditions of our body. If one of the cells that are highly functional cells, let's say it's a brain cell, and it's not functioning, the other part that will be affected by it. If, like what we're doing here, if the microphone is not functioning, or the internet is not functioning, or the camera, things will get affected. You get kicked out. It's going to be holistic. It's going to be the entire gamut of things that you need to see to be able to do what we call as holistic health. Because when we say holistic, I'm so healthy, but look, you don't have a foot because you're diabetic and all the kind of things. So it's challenging for people in that condition to say I'm holistically healed, but really what it is years and years of continuous, let's say, ignoring of the things that our body needs, and not just our body but our spiritual functioning, our mental functioning, our psychological functioning, in fact even our financial functioning. We talk about that. If you want to help others get rich, right? Because you want to help. But if you want to help and then you just help, but then you only have $2, you give $2 to somebody because you want to help, then you don't have anything for you. That's not help. You are spreading, you are stretching your ability to exist,
Mhm.
and therefore, because of that scarcity, you want to have more of that because you can have more of that at any given time,
Yes,
right?
that is correct. Now, Dr. Rich, I've been asking you because I've been wanting to share those good hormones that you,
Yes, I
yes, tell
think
us about these good hormones that we produce when
I
we are exercising and when we feel good. Yeah.
Yes, we'll talk about that from episode to episode as we go along, because we are going to touch those areas at one point or another as we talk. But really, what those hormones are in our body, they are called the feel good hormones. Now, there's several of them, and they are produced by our body. Our body produce a lot of hormones from different conditions, different triggers, and different stimulus. So, but the hormones are produced. It's not like it will be produced the next month. It's automatic. It's just like that. It's all there. It's just not working yet until the need for it to show up. And one of that is our dopamine. And you've
Mm-hmm.
heard about this dopamine, MJ, right?
Yeah.
Dopamine is a very serious feel good hormone. But let me pause a little bit, because dopamine is very addictive, and it's used in the hospitals for patients who are confined in the hospitals very cautiously. That they are dopamine, it makes you feel good, and when you feel good and then you don't feel good anymore, guess what? You'll be looking, or you'll be craving for the feel good moment. And what makes you feel good? So you'll be looking for the injection of a dopamine. It's highly addictive. I will show you that. You don't need injections in order to get that. What that means is the thrill of your life. Every single day in your life, when you wake up, induce the dopamine yourself by being excited for the day. When I say you get excited for the day, you are expecting something good for that day. When you think about good, now if you're not thinking about good things that will happen to you, you're not expecting something good that will happen to you during the day, then you did not induce dopamine. And what that means is then you don't feel encouraged or energized to go, and you need coffee. You don't need coffee because your dopamine is right there. You just need to trigger it.
Stimulate or
Yes,
trigger it.
stimulate.
Stimulate
Trigger
it.
it
That's right.
by thinking in your mind some really good things that you're expecting, like a surprise. Right? There's some good things that will happen to you at work. It's a surprise. I will meet somebody, or I will receive a lot of money today. That will induce a lot of dopamine. Now,
Okay.
it doesn't last for, let's say, 5 minutes. It probably will just last for 2 minutes, and then you want it again. That's why it's constant. You have to constantly affirm yourself. Go ahead.
So, Dr. Rich, before we move on to the final
Yes.
segment of our show, let's go for a short break. And we have a question that you probably will need to answer when we come back. Okay, so let's go for a short break.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today and let's create magic together.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
All right, we're back. We're back. Yay. So, wow. See, time flies, although we had some technical
Yeah,
difficulties, but it's still
I
good.
know.
We're so good. We're just so thrilled that we have this show. But the person who said it, it's very true. One of our viewers tonight was Margarita Trong. Thank you po, Tita Margarita, for watching. We
Margarita,
really
thank you.
appreciate it. And we have a question, Dr. Rich. How can lifestyle changes such as diet and sleep affect dopamine production? That's a question from attorney Eileen Ligot Dizon.
That that is a very interesting question. Now, hear this one. Dopamine is a it's a feel good hormone, but it is also like a mm, reward chemical. So it when you get rewarded, the dopamine in you surges. It increases. You feel good when you get a reward. So give a reward or get a reward. Your dopamine increases. Now, in lifestyle, if you such as diet and sleep, for example, if you diet, that is supposed to give you a dopamine because you like it. You don't do something you don't like. You have to like. You want to want it. When you want it, the dopamine is at its maximum. So then you keep doing it. You really like sleeping. You want to sleep 8 hours. You like it. You don't say I don't like it because that's not producing the dopamine. What's producing the dopamine is the thrill of success, the thrill that's in there. I like to go to sleep at 7. I'm so excited to go to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening every day. Oh, when it's like 6:45 in the evening, I have 15 minutes more. I have to go to bed. I'm so excited. That increases the dopamine production. So you feel good when you go to bed, you feel good. By the way, don't go to bed if you don't feel good. You have to feel good. And in the morning, you need dopamine again. What is it? It's the thrill, right? You need to have that thrill in your life. It's like, what's in there? Put your music on. The music is really going to give a lot of dopamine. But it's not just dopamine there that the music produces for you. There are other things that we can talk about that as well.
Yes, and that's tying up that, excitement that helps produce dopamine. We can tie it up to the goals or the actionable items that we just talked about
Yeah.
earlier. Because, like, if you're
Yes.
setting those attainable goals and you succeed, you progress, then that keeps your dopamine up. And you know what? That also explains for people who love binge watching, right, Dr. Rich? Because when
Yes.
you
No, the
watch
thing is,
something that you're giving you pleasure or giving you excitement, your
mhm,
dopamine is
yeah.
up and it just keeps going up and you don't
Correct.
want to
No,
stop that. Yeah.
the thing with that is you can use it to be healthy and you can use it to be unhealthy as well
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't determine what is good or bad for you. It's just showing up there once you trigger it or once you stimulate it. So you want to really use producing dopamine in your body for good. Okay. When you say, I'm staying up late and you're so excited, it still produces dopamine, but it doesn't help you, right? Because you're excited to stay up late. You're not going to sleep tonight, and it's giving you excitement. When you trigger yourself some excitement, there is dopamine being produced, but it's not used in the right way. So the dopamine don't think about, well, I'm going to show up increased availability because because I know he wants a lot of money. That's not the dopamine doesn't think about that. It's just when triggers, it's when the feeling is triggered by that, it goes up there and then you feel good. So you have to decide. It's decision at this point, and it's really holistic because it applies to everything you do, think, say, whatever it is. It it depends on how much are you going to produce the feel good. How excited are you for things that you are about to do. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's true because you're right. It doesn't think. You still are the leader of your life. The dopamine that you're producing can be detrimental if you're, as you said, if you are thinking or excited about staying up late, if you're excited about binge watching maybe a drama or something, movie or series, it's detrimental to your health. So it's your choice. You have the choice to use it for your good, or you can go with it with, but it can be detrimental to your health. So what we're
Right.
promoting
Because
here is making the right choices on how you can take
right.
advantage of this dopamine good feeling hormone that we have in our body.
Right. Now we'll talk about the other hormones as well. There's a few of them, but we'll focus on this dopamine for the remaining few minutes that we have here. But really, if you want a holistic health journey, you want to use that, but feel excited. It's not like you say, I didn't feel good today. What do you say when you don't feel good today? You say you didn't feel good, right? So you, instead of producing the dopamine, you're producing something different, which is what it is. It's still a hormone, but it's not working for you. It's working against you. That's like adrenaline and cortisol. They are depressing hormones. They are stress hormones. So when you say it's very stressful at work, you're producing the stress hormones. It's what you say. But when you say you didn't feel like going to work, but you say, I feel good when I go to work. You battle it, you conquer it, and then you're producing more dopamine. The more you say it, the more dopamine is increased in your body and the better you feel. Let's say, I always tell people, what do you do when you don't feel good? And then they think, when you feel bad. I said, what do you do when you feel bad? And then they start thinking, oh, I'll do this and I'll do that. So the answer, the correct answer is, when you feel bad, feel better. Always feel better. If you don't like going to bed at 7 o'clock, like going to bed at 7 o'clock. If you don't feel like eating vegetables, like eating vegetables. Say, I like eating vegetables, because your body will produce those dopamines. And for all you know, you're already eating those vegetables that once upon a time you didn't like. It's it's driving that. It's not that hormone will drive you. You drive that hormone to where you are. It's controlling the holistically your body to the things that you want to see accomplished.
Yes, that's absolutely right. And I feel that at times. You know, there are times when you get like in the morning and you're tired and you just say, "Oh, I don't feel like getting up or getting out of bed." But then you just jump out and just conquer the day. Just conquer that negative feeling. Take
Yes.
advantage of, because as you said, our body is like what we think is what we are, right? So what we think and what we say to ourselves is that what comes out of us. So if even if we don't feel good, and if we say, oh, you gotta be excited, you gotta go against the odds, and then your dopamine will start working for you, not against you, right?
Right.
So
Because
I
we
think,
live in,
uh
go ahead, MJ. The thing is, we live in the body. The body doesn't live in us. We live in the body. But somehow the body has the hormones. It is a cage. It is a basket. It is a container of our life. So we live in there, and you don't want to be mandated by a body. You want to take control of that body and move it according to where it needs to go. Because if it says, "Oh, I'm so tired and I don't like rising up from bed, and I'm just gonna sleep," then it follows, right? The
mhm.
body will follow. The body will not move forward because you
Yes.
already said it. The body will follow it. So you want to tell the body, I'm so excited for the day, because the body will always have a down motivation. It's going down. The body, this body that we have, is going down. We will never have it. So you have to get it up. You have to tell the body. So in your small step, in your focus area, if you are going to walk 10 minutes a
A day.
day, you do it. And you say, I'm so excited about walking 10 minutes a day, even if it's only like 8 minutes. Oh, I'm so good at I got 8 minutes. And then move forward, move forward. Remember, small steps, always, not big steps, small steps. And then when you have that, and especially when you have an accountable partner, and if your accountable partner will say, oh, you suck with this, or you didn't do that, then That's not an accountable partner. The accountable partner will tell you, you really did well today. You did well. Congratulations. Good job. Then that increases the dopamine because we want that feel good.
Yes, and
Okay?
I think a lot of corporations actually apply that principle of recognizing their employees, because by doing so, they are actually like empowering their employees to do better in their jobs. So I've heard that from the grapevine, or I've seen that for those successful business people and leaders in the community, or even CEOs of the company, that's what they apply. They recognize people because they know that by doing so, they're actually making these employees of them better employees, and it's going to work for their company. It's going to work. It's for the advantage of the company. It's the same thing. So
Yes,
if
yes,
if we
exactly.
do that to ourselves, then that's going to work for us. Then we're going to feel good, and then we're going to be encouraged, and then we're going to be motivated, and then we're just going to do our best to lead a life that we deserve, right? So that's all. I know we have
Exactly.
come to the end of the show. But just to recap, for tonight, I know it's our first episode, it's our pilot episode. And for those of you who joined us and watched us, thank you so much. And just for you to know, this show is going to stay because we want to serve you in a different capacity. We want to serve you and help you in your health and wellness journey. That's what Dr. John Rich and I are here for. So to recap, we talked about
Yes,
holistic health. So you have to take care of your mind, body, spirit, right? Which means that it encompasses all of your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And take three actionable items. Focus on one area. Which area of your life you think that needs the most attention at this point of your life? Focus on that. And just have attainable and realistic goals. Small steps are great progress. Every step is progress. And of course, having an accountability partner. Because if you have that person in your life that will go with you in your journey, whether or not you feel good or not, whether or not your dopamine is serving you or against you, if you have that person in your life, then you can walk along with that person, and you both of you will have or lead a better life. So those three simple steps will help you tremendously. I know we are here to give you more encouragement, and future episodes, actually, Dr. Rich, we're going to talk about, or we're going to
we'll
delve
talk
deep.
about some more of that. More
Yes.
of that. We'll talk about some more of those hormones, and we're going to give you some secrets, tips, tools, and techniques, and how to crack the code of success, personal success, and your material success as well. And we're going to show you. We'll build up to that point.
Yes, yes. This is only the initial episode. This isn't the first time, but we assure you, you're going to learn a lot from our show. And we are not here if not because of you. So, should we say goodnight, Dr. Rich, and look forward to our next
Yes,
episode next Friday? I think we're going to delve deep
yes, ma'am.
into,
Next week, the same time.
yeah, yes, we're going to
Yes,
delve deep
yes,
into the different areas of our life, right? The emotional,
correct.
physical, mental, and spiritual health.
We'll talk some more of that. Stay healthy, stay vibrant, everyone. We'll see you next week for our episode. Remember, 8 o'clock Texas time and 9 o'clock a.m. Philippine time.
That's right. Okay.
MJ,
Yes. Good night,
such a
Dr. Rich.
wonderful
Good night,
speaker.
everyone. And here we are,
Good night,
Dr.
everyone.
Rich and Nurse MJ for Beyond Health and Wellness, brought to you by
Health.
Lawin Media Network. Good night.